Welcome back to my channel. I'm Anshul from Quantshala. So today we had a quiz on exponents and log on our Facebook group. So we'll be discussing the solutions for that today. Before moving on to the solutions, a couple of sentences about this topic. So exponents and log. Many of the students are scared from this word log itself, so they skip this chapter altogether. Whereas that is not the right approach. I would very strongly recommend that you should complete log because this is a very small topic. Okay, you can ace this within a couple of days at max, and definitely there are questions from log in the CAT exam. So this will help you a lot. This is giving you at least 3 or 6 marks in your bag definitely if you ace this topic. So if you want to attend quizzes, if you are not attending quizzes till now, and if you want to attend from the next quiz onwards, do join the Facebook group where there are quizzes, mock tests, one-on-one mentoring sessions. All of these we are doing there. So make sure to join this group. So let's get started with the questions. So our question one was this. This is 3 into log 27x is equal to this is equal to a. Okay, so all of these are equal. And then if g is the geometric mean of x and y, what is this equal to? First of all, we need to know what is geometric mean. Okay, so what is arithmetic mean? Arithmetic mean for a plus b is a plus b by 2, and geometric mean is a into b raised to power half. Okay, or you can call it root of a into b. So this is what geometric mean is. Now this question says, okay, let's take these two equations separately. Okay, so first we'll take 3 into log 27x is equal to a. So which would mean you can take this 3 this side and you can say x is equal to a by 27 raised to power a by 3, or you can also say this is 3 raised to power a because 27 raised to power 1 by 3 is 3. Similarly, here what do we have? We'll have log 144y is equal to a by 2. This implies y is equal to 144 raised to power a by 2, or you can say 12 raised to power a. So this is y. Okay. So what is the geometric mean of a x and y now? 3 raised to power a multiplied by 12 raised to power a, which comes out to be 36 raised to power a. So geometric mean is under root of 36 raised to power a, or you can say 6 raised to power a. Okay. So log 36g is what they're asking us for. So let's keep the base to 36. That will be easier. So you can also write this as 36 raised to power a by 2, because ultimately we are doing this multiplied by this, which comes out to be 36 raised to power a, and then under root of this will be 36 raised to power a by 2. Okay. So log 36g, log 36 raised to power a by 2 is obviously, all of us know, a by 2. So I'm assuming all of you know the basic properties. If you don't know the basic properties of log, do go through a textbook or some good videos where you can understand the basic properties around multiplication, powers, and all these things for log you have. It will take you a couple of hours to go through all the properties and then practice some of those questions. So coming to the second question, this is a very easy one. So by the way, this question one that we discussed is from CAT 2017, and this one is also a slightly different version of a question from CAT 2017. Okay. So if x is a real number such that this, then which of the following correctly defines the range of values x can take? Okay. So we are given only this equation and they are asking us for the range of x. So let's see. Log 5 2 plus x is equal to log 3 5. This is what we know. So how can we first of all get to inequalities, because we are given a perfect equation and they're asking for us for this inequality, that means the range of x. So first of all, we know that by the domain, simply this has to be greater than 0. So 2 plus x is greater than 0, and we know x is greater than minus 2. This is the first condition that we know, which is anyway there in all the conditions, so we need not bother about this. The second thing we know is that log 3 3, okay, this value is 1. And what is the value of next value of log? Log 3 9 is equal to 2. Okay. So we know that log 3 5 will be between 1 and 2. Between 1 and 2. So let's try to solve it this way. So we know that log 5 2 plus x is less than 2 and is greater than 1. This is what we have. Okay. So this would mean 2 plus x is between 5 raised to power 2 and 5 raised to power 1. Okay, so we are there with the solution now. This would mean x is subtracting 2 from all sides, you get 3 here. 5 square is 25 minus 2, you get 23 here. So x is between 3 and 23. The first option is correct. So always you can get answers like this, but always take care of the domain in such questions, okay? Because in some questions what will happen is, by the domain somehow you might get that, this is just an example now, this is not related to the question. In the domain you might get something like x is not equal to 4. Okay, so then at that time you will have to take care that x is between 3 and 23 but not equal to 4. Okay, so this was not related to the question, just an example. We will see such a question in the later stages. Okay, so coming to the third question, this seems like a very easy question. So we are given the value of p already, and then we need to do some sort of calculations. This will just, I think, use a lot of log properties. This is also a past year CAT question. So we have 4 minus p divided by 4 plus p. Let's try to calculate this first. After that, it seems very simple. So we have 4 minus log 1281 divided by 4 plus log 1281. Okay. First thing is that we can't subtract 4 from this log term, right? We don't have anything, any property like that. So simply I can write this 4 as log 12 raised to power 4. Okay. This is a badly written log. So again here also we can write log 12 raised to power 4. So this is still 4. We have not made the equation incorrect, but we have just manipulated it so that it's easier for us to calculate. Okay. Now subtracting these two log terms, simply we know that it will get divided. So we'll have log 12 raised to power 4 divided by 81. What is 81? 81 is 3 raised to power 4. So we get 12 raised to power 4 divided by 3 raised to power 4. And here we have log 12 raised to power 4 multiplied by 3 raised to power 4. Okay. So what do we have here? What does this become? This becomes log of 4 raised to power 4, or you can say log 12 4. The other 4 will come here, and then this will become log 12 into 3 36, and then you have another 4 here. These 4's get cancelled. Another very interesting property of log, that when the bases are same and you have one log term in numerator, one in denominator, bases are same, so you can also write it as log 36 4. Okay, I'll write it here more clearly, log 36 4. So this index of the denominator becomes the base, the index of numerator becomes the index. So we have calculated this term till now, multiplied by 3. So multiplied by 3 means it will just become 4 cube here, and then raised to 6. Okay, so we have 6 raised to power, I'll clear the space here. So what we have is 6 raised to power log 36 64. What we know is that 6 and 36 are related. 36 is 6 square. So now there are multiple ways to solve it. Simply I'll use a very simple property. You can call it as 36 raised to power half log 36 64. Okay, and then take this half to this power of 64. You get 36 raised to power log 36 8. Okay, another property of log, when these 36's are same, the answer is 8. Okay, so I'm not proving all of these properties here, but make sure you know the proofs of all these properties also. So the answer for this one is 8. Next question. This is a very easy question of only equations. Okay, there is not a lot of things to do with log, but mostly with exponents. So simply we can see here 5 raised to power x, 3 raised to power y, and equation with them. This is a manipulation of 5 raised to power x. This is 5 raised to power x divided by 5. This is 3 raised to power y divided into 3. So simply, if let's say you have 5 raised to power x minus 1 is a, 3 raised to power y is b. Why did I take these values a and b? Because if I have 5 raised to power x minus 1 as a, I can write 5 raised to power x as 5a. Okay, so I don't have to deal with denominators and division and LCM and stuff. So what does it become? This simply becomes 5a minus b is equal to 1 3 4 3 8. What does this become? This becomes A plus 3B is equal to 9686. So now simply all we are left to do is calculation. So make sure you're doing fast calculation, and you can't use the on-screen calculator in CAT 2020 for everything, because that on-screen calculator is not very user-friendly. That means you have to spend extra 5 or 10 seconds to click those numbers with your mouse, which is not very comfortable, and that wastes a lot of time. So try to solve these equations without the calculator also. Simply what we'll do is, for calculating A, we'll multiply this with 5, we'll multiply the first equation with 3 and then add these, and B will get eliminated. Simply multiply the first one by 3, you get 15A minus 3B. Here you have A plus 3B. So what do you get on adding those? 16A plus 0 actually, because 16A minus 3B plus 3B, okay, is equal to multiplying this by 3. 13438 multiplied by 3 will be, simply see, this is, you can break it into two parts, okay. One, let's say 13400, and the other is 38. Simply you can multiply, this one is very simple one, so you get 40200, and this one is 114. So adding this you get 40314. Okay. Then for this one you have plus 9686 as it is. Adding 40,000 plus 9,000 is 49,000. Plus 314 plus 686 comes out to an even 1,000. So this becomes 50,000. Okay. So we get 16A is equal to 50,000. Or you can write A is equal to 50,000 divided by 16. Okay. You can simply try to prime factorize instead of dividing the whole thing. See, because ultimately to calculate x, we have to take the log. Okay, we have to find A in terms of power of 5. Okay. So we'll try to calculate A in terms of power of 5. So 50,000 is 50 multiplied by 1000. Okay. So you can write 5 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 125 into 8. Okay, I'm just trying to extract 16 so that the 16 gets cancelled automatically. So this 8 is here. So we have 2 left here, and then we have another 5 here. So we get 25 multiplied by 125. Okay. So we can't delete all of this. So what do we get? A, we've gotten it as, oh, I think I deleted too much. So till now we've got A is 25 into 125 means 5 raised to power 5. Okay. Now for calculating B, similarly what we'll do? We'll multiply the second equation with 5 and subtract both the equations. So on the left hand side we'll get 16B. On the right hand side we'll get 5 multiplied by this, which is very easy to calculate. It will be 48430 minus 13438. Okay. Subtract this, 48,000 minus 13,000 is 35,000. 35,000 minus an extra 8, 34,992. Okay. Don't worry if you're not understanding the way I'm doing the fast calculation. If you're understanding, that's great. If you are not, it's fine, whichever way you want to do the fast calculation. But just try to make this calculation faster. Okay. So 34992 divided by 16 is what B becomes. Okay. So you get 2, 1, 8, 7 here. So B is 2187, which is also 3 raised to power 7. Okay, so we know that B is 3 raised to power 7. How do I know it is 3 raised to power 7? You don't need to memorize all of this. It's just that I know that B has to be power of 3, and I know that 2187 divided by 3. Just keep on prime factorizing and you'll get 3 raised to power 7. Okay, or simply you can see that I don't have a lot of space here. I'll write here. So we know that 27 squared is 729, which is nothing but 3 raised to power 6. Okay, because this is 3 cube, 3 6, 3 raised to power 6. And then for 2187 you throw in another 3, it becomes 2187. So 2187 is 3 raised to power 7. This is just again my way of calculating this. You can do it whichever way you want. So A is 5 raised to power 5, which means x becomes 6 and y becomes 7. So they're asking us for x plus y, which becomes 13. 13 is not an option, so the answer is D. Okay, so coming to the final question. This question is a little tricky, so make sure you pause this video here and try this question yourself, because this involves not only log concepts but other concepts like modulus and other basic things that will help you a lot in quant. So make sure you spend a lot of time on this question by pausing right now and then try to solve this question and post whatever answer you get in comments, because I'm really curious what all you will post, because there were a lot of answers during the quiz here. So let's see how many different answers we can get here. Okay. So getting started, what is the number of integral solutions possible for x with this inequality given? Okay, this seems like a very complex thing, because first of all there is no equal to sign, there is this inequality, and then there are a lot of modulus signs. Okay, mod, another mod, and then obviously log is there. So first thing, that this is log x mod x, which will probably become 1, so nothing to worry here. So one thing that I see here is everything is in mod except this small x, okay, which is there in base. So from base we know that x is greater than 0 and x is not equal to 1. Okay. This is something that most students screw up in. So for log, you also always have to know the domain for every function. For log, sine, cos, tan, whatever functions you know, make sure you know the domain of that, and also the reasoning that why the domain is like that. Okay. For example, here simply if you have log a b, then b has to be greater than 0 and a has to be greater than 0 as well as not equal to 1. Okay. This is the thing that we have. So from here we get x is greater than 0 and x is not equal to 1. Okay. So if x is greater than 0, then all of these mod x's will become x only, right? Because what is the definition of mod x? Mod x is x if x is greater than 0, if x is greater equal to 0, minus x is less than 0. Why is it like this? This is a very basic definition of mod x. So what does mod x do? If you give let's say 6 to mod x, it returns 6, okay, and if you give minus 6 to it, it will again give you 6 back. Why is it working? If the number is already positive, then it's just giving you the number back. If it is negative, it will make the number negative one more time and give it back to you, which means minus 6 will become minus of minus 6, and finally you will get plus 6. Okay, so this is the definition of mod. So all of these mod x become x. Okay, and I see one more thing, mod of 2 raised to power x plus x. Okay, whatever x is, 2 raised to power x is always a positive quantity, exponential function, and x is also a positive quantity because x is greater than 0. So addition will also be a positive quantity, which means we can remove this modulus also. So our left hand side becomes log of 10. We have not removed this first mod. Okay, 2 raised to power x plus x minus 41 less than x into log xx, it becomes 1 minus log 10 5. Okay, so one thing is that instead of 1 minus log 10 5, again as we did in the third question probably, what we'll do is we'll turn this 1 into something around log base 10, so it becomes log base 10 10. This is 1, so we have just written 1 as this. Then we can use simple log property, and the RHS turns to x into log 10 2, and then this x goes and becomes the exponent of 2. Okay. So this is the RHS that we have now, and this is the LHS that we have now. We did close this modulus sign here. Okay. Now let's talk about this modulus. Okay. First of all, first thing that we discussed is about domain. Okay, that index has to be greater than 0. So this thing in the bracket has to be greater than 0. So let's do that first. Okay. So 2 raised to power x plus x minus 41 greater than 0. So you get 2 raised to power x plus x greater than 41. This is a tough one to solve, but we have number of integral solutions. Okay, so we'll only worry about integers here. So we'll see that for integer, let's say 5, you get 2 raised to power 5 32 plus 5 37, not greater than 41. For x equal to 6, you have 64 plus 6 70, which is greater than 41. So x has to be greater equal to 6. Okay, for x is equal to 5, this entire thing within the bracket is less than 0, which would violate the domain of log function. Okay, so x is also greater equal to 6. I am just documenting everything here, whatever restrictions we are getting on x. Okay, so x greater equal to 6 covers x greater than 0 and x not equal to 1, both of these. Okay, so we get x greater or equal to 6. Okay, after this, the next thing that we have is removing this mod. So when will this be positive, this quantity inside mod, and when will it be negative? Let's talk about that. It will be negative when this thing in the bracket is greater than 0 but less than 1. Okay, greater than 0. Why is that? So for example, if you have, let's say, log 10 x here, or x we already have variable for x, let's say log 10 y here, when will this be less than 0? Okay, this will be less than 0 when y is less than 10 raised to power 0 or y is less than 1, and we already know y is greater than 0. So this thing will be negative only when y is between 0 and 1. So similarly here for us, y is nothing but this bracket. Okay, and for us it is never between 0 and 1, because we are only playing with integral values. And for x is equal to 5 it is less than 0, for x is equal to 6 it is greater than 1, because it is 70 minus 41. Okay, much greater than 1. So for us this thing will always be positive, which means the LHS also we can remove the mod sign. Okay, which means I'll just write down the thing that we've got here. Removing the mod from left side also, we have 2 raised to power x plus x minus 41 less than x. What did we have for the left hand side? We had log 10 2 raised to power x. Log 10 2 raised to power x. Okay, since the base is greater than 1, so simply we can just compare the indices here, which will give us 2 raised to power x plus x minus 41 less than 2 raised to power x. 2 raised to power x get cancelled, we get x less than 41. What else did we have? We had x greater or equal to 6. Now we have x less than 41, which means x less than or equal to 40. So possible values of x are between 6 and 40, which is a total of 40 minus 6 plus 1 values, 35 values. So the answer for this one is 35. What many of the students do is they'll simply just remove the mod sign, even if they do, and then they'll come to this equation, they'll come to x less than 41. They know that x is greater than 0, and then they'll just calculate the number of values between 0 and 41, the integral values there. Okay, always make sure that you consider the domain also. By considering domain, I mean this index we got x greater or equal to 6, and this we got x not equal to 1. So we should always consider such values. So these were the 5 questions that we discussed in the quiz today. So I hope you learned something new from these questions. You got to learn new concepts, and I hope you were able to solve these questions yourself as well. If you're not trying these questions yourself before watching the video, that is not the best approach to solving quizzes or preparing for CAT. What I would recommend is always more important than watching solutions is trying the questions yourself. Even if you're not able to solve it, that's fine. But you always gain some knowledge out of solving the questions. You don't always get to know that you have learned something new, but automatically there are new flows that are getting generated in your brain. Okay, then you are more equipped to solve the next questions. So always in any solution video, not just this Quantshala group, any other group that you're following, always solve the questions yourself and then only watch the solutions, and then see if there were better things that you could have done in your solution, if you could have done that faster, or what were the things that you missed there. Okay, so this was it for today's video, guys. Please press the like button if you like the video, do share the video with your friends, and do subscribe to the channel for all upcoming videos. All the best, keep learning.